most of the damage. As you can see, he still has nothing but these 4 barracks. I think this might have been a little bit foolish of him. I don't know why he was going to keep trying this push. I guess he just wanted to keep massing Marines and Marauders, keep pushing on me, and get his second Expo up in the meantime, just so he had an economic advantage over me, because Zerg will definitely out-micro or out-macro a Terran with ease if you just let them expand. So as you see, I moved my drones down onto this Expo, and I now have my Expo going pretty quickly. I do have 4 gas, so I can mass these Hydras and these Roaches. Hydras, they don't take as much gas as Mutalisks do, but most of the time you're going to be producing Hydralisks in much more of a quantity than you are Mutalisks. So definitely having 4 gas there to get Roaches and Hydras is definitely a good thing, because the 50 gas for every Hydralisk is just hurtful to your economy. I'm pretty sure in my mind at this point, I realize this guy must have an Expo up. He hit me so hard right there. He has to have an Expo, but I don't feel that I have the units at the moment to try and take it down. Which actually, had I hit right now, I probably have enough Roaches and enough Hydras to probably take down his force. I'm still trying to get my Expo fully saturated. It's almost there. And I believe he actually, yeah, he's gonna, I have a little changeling, and I didn't actually notice these when I ran by them, which was silly of me, because I just had ran my changeling through here to see the size of his force, and I didn't see those, and by the time my Marine got over here, I had already missed them, the way that I was looking. So I'm like, where's this guy's army at? So I come up here, I'm looking everywhere trying to find this guy's army, and I don't know where it's at, because I wasn't paying attention to the minimap when I ran past them. Because had I seen them right there, I probably would have engaged him and killed quite a few of his units and probably taken his Expo from him. This is a very vulnerable time, because I have I have my Expo up and he doesn't, and I have definitely amassed more units than him. I do have my first ranged upgrade coming up. I don't know why I got the Evo chambers so early and didn't get an upgrade. And I am trying to up a hatchery over here at the gold minerals. I've had this Ling here since the very beginning of the game. I know he hasn't ran by. He doesn't know that I'm putting up an Expo over here, so that was definitely a wise decision by me. And as you can see, he does use the sensor tower here. You don't see this a lot, but if a Terran can contain a Zerg and keep them with only 1 Expo, and if he had some tanks, he could contain me even better. But containing a Zerg is definitely a good idea, because that's how Zerg wins their games. They win their games with macro. And as you can see with this range on the sensor tower, he can see all of my units. He knows everything that's here, and I'm not sure why I hit right now. I guess I thought that I could take him, but I just don't have enough Roaches tanking up in the front, and my Hydras back here, as you can see them just running around getting slaughtered. At this point, I am quite upset. I believe that I've lost the game right now, because he just has so many units, and I know that he must have an Expo up. I did see it with my Changeling, and he's just killing my Hydras off with ease, so I'm quite angry at this point in the game, but I just keep massing my units, I stay calm, and I just keep producing. I have so many larvae built up with my queens here, and I just keep injecting and keep producing units. I do now have this, but I am busy up here trying to fend this guy off and keep him from destroying me. And his silly focusing my hatchery there just allowed my Hydras to pop out and kill most of his Marauders before he could do anything. He's going to come around, try to surround me here, but I do have the Roaches out to tank the damage, and I believe I managed to win this little skirmish right here that we have. Hydra's definitely doing work on those Marauders, and I do take out his sensor tower because he's annoyed me at this point, and I think he's a faggot. So yeah, I definitely wasn't happy this game. I remember all the thoughts that were going through my head with this guy, just his beautifully timed pushes with his number of units that he's had. It just keeps making me upset. So anyway, I do have this hatchery over here. I'm starting to get workers up on the gold minerals. I am making a queen so I can saturate it a little quicker, and in a couple of minutes I will actually drag most of my workers from here down to the gold minerals, at least when I think it's safe, so that he's not going to spot me. I do still have this Ling here. I see his SCV is going. I imagine that his SCV was going to scout for me to see if I was expoing other places, and I didn't really pay much attention to it. Little did I know, I believe he's going to come over here and start making a command center and get himself another expo. He does have 2 medevacs now, which will definitely turn the fights in his favor if I don't have enough units in order to stop him. Um, just the ground game, Terran versus Zerg. Terran is just so strong. They have so many lots high damage units that can just annihilate. Like the Marauders counter my roaches, and the Hydralisk, even though their range is so great, once he gets tanks in his army, they can just shoot from way too far back and just annihilate entire Zerg ground armies. So you can't let them, either A, you can't let them build their siege tanks up, or you have to get some sort of air or something in order to stop these siege tanks. Or option number 3, you can get some infestors and actually infest his bio ball with your infestors, or fungal growth them, and try to kill off most of his bio ball, and then run in and overwhelm his tanks. That is the only ways that I really know of with Zerg in order to beat those tanks, because just once he has enough of them, there's nothing a ground force is going to do in order to stop them. Speedlings, you can try Speedlings, but if he has a well-balanced army and he has enough Marines in order to kill off your lings as they come in, that's just going to hurt too. As you can see, he tries to push on me here, and I realized that I might have him outnumbered, and I pushed up a little. I maybe could have taken him right there, and I should have tried to take him right there, because I did see he only had 1 tank, and I don't want to allow him to get more because he didn't have them earlier. But I pulled my units back. I'm just going to wait it out. I do have this 3rd gold expo, and I am just raking in the money right now. If we look here at income, I actually have, I have twice his mineral income and about the same gas income as him, because I haven't filled these couple of Vespene geysers yet. But that's definitely going to hurt him in the long run. As you can see, our army sizes, he only has 1,000 gas invested in his army, but he does have about 500 more minerals invested than I do. He's at 121 out of 121, and I am at 126 out of 142. I have much more gas, obviously, invested in mine, simply because of the fact that I'm Zerg, and Zerg's very gas intensive. As you can see, I put down my infestation pit, I up my spire, and I am now teching to a hive. So my plan here is to try and get broodlords. I feel as though the way he's pinned me down with these tanks and so many ground units, I haven't seen any air from him short of his medevacs. I'm now almost forced, in my opinion, unless you swarm and swarm and swarm, which he has the expo up, I have the expo up. I know that I'm not going to really out-unit him at this point, that I just need to get something in order to snipe those tanks out from underneath him. He does have about 1,000 more minerals now in his army than I do. I do still have more gas into mine though. So his army is definitely bigger than mine. I'm not too heavy on gas right now. As you can see, I just actually, yeah, I just had to make a bunch of overlords because I'm at food cap, but I start transforming into my greater spire, morphing, whatever you want to call it, and I get my OVs out, and I will make some corruptors so that I can morph my broodlings as soon as my greater spire is done. I was busy talking and actually missed the good portion, or well, not the good